right-hand side. Now, like I said, this is a non-exhaustive list of spawns because there are so many of these, but I'll put some more spawns in the description for you guys if you get stuck or you just can't find them while running around the map looking for them. Once you've picked up the bomb, there are two other parts we need to grab. Both of these can be found in fountains. The first is near the spawn area. You're going to then go to the conservatory and just out the back, quite near to Quick Revive, you can hold square here to get your first reflector. And the second one is just here. As you can see, there is another fountain of the same kind of design. You can get your second reflector. So you've got two reflectors and you've got your bomb. Then go back downstairs to the underground, and on this wall of rubbly stuff here, hold square, that'll place the bomb and it will blow open a tunnel inside. Then go through the tunnel, across the room, and place your canister in the machine. That will cause lasers to go into the string. Then do a 180 and place one of your reflectors on this metal post here, and your second reflector just down here, and that's going to reflect the beam across the room into one of these Doppelgast statues. You then just need to melee the crystal that the beam is coming out from, and that will cause the Doppelgast to turn into a real Doppelgast, and you need to kill it, and that is your first Doppelgast soul collected. Next, you're going to melee this reflector just here, next to where the beam is coming from, and the reflector on the other side of the room we're actually going to pick up, and we're going to run up this slope here on the left-hand side, and place that reflector down at the top. We're then going to melee it, and as you can see, that is going to reflect the beam again into a Doppelgast statue. So go and melee the source crystal, and that's one of the bottles, kill the bottle, and that's soul number 2. Then go back to the reflector that's on the ground floor, and melee that one more time, and it will reflect into a third Doppelgast statue. Same deal, melee the source crystal, it will spawn in a Doppel, but this time it will be an elite Doppel, so it will be harder to kill, so bring your teammates in if they're around. And then once you kill it, that is your third soul collected, and you can pick up your charged canister from the other side of the room. And that one needs to go to the crafting bench in the director's quarters area. So hold square, that'll put the canister in, and then hold square again with your base ray gun or any other ray gun, and it'll convert it into a purple ray gun. Next, we need one more canister. To get this, you don't actually have to use an elemental ray gun. You can just use a regular ray gun Mark II, but it will not work with a ray gun Mark I, like a normal ray gun. It has to be a ray gun Mark II, and you're going to use it to shoot these big, blue, crystally, water pouchy looking things. There are 4 of them total, and you might get lucky, and you might get your canister from, like, the second one you shoot, or the third one, but I'm going to show you all 4 spawns now. So the first one is just here. It's quite near Quick Revive in the kind of conservatory area, and you'll see it in the roof, so shoot that with a Mark II. Then the second one, you're going to go into the mansion, you're going to take a left here, and then you'll see it outside up on the wall, so shoot that, that's spawn number 2. The third is, if you go in the mansion and then go to the right, you'll see it kind of up this staircase here, so shoot that, that's number 3. And then the fourth one is going to be down at the elevator in the service tunnel underground area, and you'll see it high up there, shoot that, that's going to be spawn number 4, and one of those 4 will give you your next canister. In order to charge the canister, we first need to get ourselves 4 seeds from 4 plants that we need to blow up with explosive damage. And so that could be Semtexes, like I recommended you spawn in with at the start of the video, or that could be using a Mark II on them, because that's explosive damage as well.
This bit, let me know if there's any very obvious important plants.
But you will have to use the base version of the Mark II, you can't use the elemental version. There are a ton of plant spawns, I'm going to show you as many as I possibly can now. So for the first one, we're going to be in Shem's Henge, and it's towards the back area by this ledge, or it's maybe also to the right by the tree, it can be around there. The next is going to be near Quick Revive, it's going to be on one of the sides of the fountain just there. Then spawn number 3 is on this side of the bridge, and there's also another spawn on the other side of the bridge, that's spawn number 4. Then if we go back to the top of the conservatory here, on the left-hand side by these bushes, you can find a 5th potential spawn. Also on the right-hand side of this area, you can find one towards this kind of corner or towards these bushes. Then if you go through the mansion to the southwest balcony, there can be one out here, or another can be inside here on this table. Then another spawn is back here on this little tree well, and then another one is behind Double Tap in this corner, just kind of hidden away. So like I said, you're only going to get 4 of the spawns, and they're usually going to spawn near a kind of grassy area.
Was that fine? Did we cover the main stuff? There's none like sneaky ones in the underground or anything, are there?
Or something along those lines. After all, they are plants. But if you can't find them still, then check the description and I'll have some extra spawn spots in there. So destroy all 4 plants that you have in your game, and each one will drop a seed, so pick those up. And then when you've got 4 seeds and you've got the canister that we grabbed a minute ago, run it to the conservatory and place the canister into this machine here. Then go up to one of these rectangular incubators and plant one of your seeds. It will start off small, and you need to defend it while it grows over time. So take out all the zombies that are going to try and attack it, and then when the seed pops up and gets bigger, you can move on to the next machine. So that was our first machine. Let's move on to our second tier. Plant your seed, defend it, wait for it to grow, take out the zombies as they attack you. I usually use explosives here. That seems to be the most consistent for me because it's quite a tight area, so Semtex and stuff is great. Your third seed machine is going to be just here, so defend it, wait for it to get big, and then your 4th seed machine is going to be just here, defend it again, wait for it to get big, and with all of them done, you'll have completed this step, and you'll be able to go back over to your canister machine and pick up the charged canister. Now, if you fail any of the seeds, like if the machine takes damage, don't worry, because the seed will just plop out the front of the machine, and if you're quick, you can pick it back up again. And if you take too long, you might need to go find your plant again, but just be speedy, and you'll be able to put it back in that machine again the next round to try again. But assuming you didn't fail, you can bring the charged canister to the crafting bench in the spawn, and hold square on it, and that'll put the canister in, and then you can hold square again to get the next ray gun Mark II, which is the marksman rifle yellow one. That's all of the elemental ray guns built, and we're now going to use them to open up 3 liminal spaces. So for our first one, we're going to use the blue elemental ray gun. So if you switch off to a different element at this point, go back to the crafting bench down in the underground area and get yourself the blue Mark II again. Then to open up the area where the liminal space is, we're going to need to go and find a part, and it's located in the entrance to the elevator room. So hold square here, and you'll see a side. If you go to the T-Rex room, you can see a white box, just ray gun Mark II. You can hold square on the bench again, and that will craft it into the blue version of the Mark II. So that's the conservatory and source crystal, and that open, like the second one you shoot, or the third one, that ones, I'm going to show you as many as they're into this machine. Big, and then your fourth T-Rex room, and place the sconce on this little gap on the Sam is. Got them all glowing, and then you've got them all enter the armory, and then walk up to the ray gun box and pick the canister up, and it will be charged up now as an explosive canister. So with what you've got in your game, there are tons of locations of these things. So I'll show you a load of them. There's one in the base of the conservatory, a tunnel inside. Then go through the tunnel, across the room, and into a third Mark II, but it will not work with a ray gun Mark I, like it wishes. Then if you go through the mansion 2, which head down the hall and response for a Simon Says game, switch off to a different element of this coin, go back to the crafting bench down in the underground area, get yourself the blue Mark II again. Then to open up the area where the liminal space is, we're going to need to go and find a part, and it's located in the entrance to the elevator room. So hold square here, and you'll see a sconce go into your inventory when you picked it up. Then come to the T-Rex room and place the sconce on this little gap on the wall. And now we're basically going to do a call and response or a Simon Says game with these two lamps in front of you. So go and hold square on one of them, like my teammate's doing here, and that light will light up while you hold square. And then it's going to go off, and it's going to give you a sequence to re-enter. So for example, in my game here, the right light went back on, and then it went off. So I knew that I had to go hold square on the right-hand side once, and then step away. Then after I'd done that, it gives you a new code, and the code is going to extend from the first one. So my first stage of this was just one flash on the right-hand side. My second stage is one flash on the right, one flash on the left, because it's kind of building on what's gone before. So I enter my one flash on the right, I enter my one flash on the left, and then it starts the code again, but this time it gives me 3 steps. One on the right, one on the left, and then back on the right again. This could be different in your game. You might have to do them all on one side, or it'll mix and match differently, but you just need to re-enter what it gives you, and once you do that, a secret door will open. With that open, head down the stairs, and then while holding your blue ray gun Mark II, hold square on this device next to your painting here, and that will start a process where you need to kill a bunch of zombies with your blue ray gun Mark II, and once you've killed enough zombies, their souls will all go into the painting, and the portal will open, and you can hop through the painting into the alternate version of the room you were already standing in. The next thing we need is a bell, and there are a ton of spawn locations for these, and I've got a bunch of them figured out because I save quit my game 40 times to record this Easter egg guide. So the spawns I found are as follows. You need to break the glass here, and you can pick it up from this plate. You can find it down here behind the glass once you break it. Once you break the glass, it can also be next to this plate here. It can also be somewhere on the floor just here. It can also be near this table. If you break the glass here, it can be also next to this broken plate. It can also be nearby to this broken statue, and it can also be quite close to this sort of tarpaulin thing. And my recommendation, if you can't find it, is to throw a couple of Semtex in that room and then go around the whole room holding square, and you should find it. Or if you're in a solo match, you can save quit your game and then reload back in, and the bell will have spawned in a different spot. By the way, it will be in that room, so destroy all the glass and then hold square, and you should be able to grab it. Once you grab the bell, go back into the T-Rex room, go up the stairs and go to this bar and place the bell by holding square, and you then need the brain rot ammo mod. So go to one of the machines, brain rot on your gun, and then come back to the bar, and you're going to need to brain rot a zombie, and then stand next to the bar and spam holding square on the bell to kind of tap the bell. And what you should see is the brain rotted zombie will realize that you need service, and it will hop over the bar and it will serve you up a drink. You need to hold square on the drink that will go onto the table, and that will pick up in your inventory, and then go back to the blue liminal room that we were in a minute ago through that blue portal, and place that drink down on this pedestal. It will teleport all of those team members into the room with you, and you have to have somebody in your game with the blue ray gun Mark II for this to work. If you don't have the blue Mark II right now, it won't work. But assuming you do still have the blue Mark II, you'll all be in the room, and you'll have to fight a boss which has a shield, and the shield can only be broken with the blue Mark II. So break the shield, do some damage, the shield will come back up, break it again with the blue Mark II, do some more damage, and rinse and repeat this 4 or 5 times, and you'll be able to kill the boss. And this will basically charge the Sentinel artifact a little bit. So you can then go over to the Sentinel artifact and hold square, and that's your first of 3 elemental trials completed. So we're now done with the blue liminal space. We're going to move on to the purple one next. So, grab your purple ray gun Mark II, which is the one in the director's quarters, if you need a reminder, and then go over to the room where the top entrance to the elevator is, and you'll see a portrait in there. Hold square on the portrait while holding your purple Mark II, and then you'll have the challenge again to get killed with your purple Mark II. So, leave the portrait souls from zombies. Once you've got enough kills, it will open up the portal, and you'll be able to hold it inside. Inside, you need to come over to the corner of this table and look for a bottle, which is ritual elixir, which you need to pick up by holding it. Once you've done that, you'll want to exit this room and go into the room full of all the wine barrels, and you'll see this chalice on the side here. Hold square on it, and it will spawn in a mega disciple, and you'll need to take that mega disciple down, and once you kill all the zombies that spawn in alongside it, you'll see that the chalice is now glowing with a red symbol above it, and that's a sign that you've successfully done this, and you just need to do this with 2 more chalices now. The next chalice is in the spawn area. If you're underneath the bridge, you can see it really easily just here. Hold square on the chalice, it will spawn some stuff in, kill all the stuff it spawns in, then you'll see the red symbol above the chalice, and the third chalice can be found in the T-Rex room, up the stairs, sort of opposite where the T-Rex is. Hold square on it, kill everything that spawns in, and you'll see your symbol above the chalice. Next, go back into the room where the top entrance to the elevator is, and on the left, behind, and right walls, you'll see 3 2-digit numbers, and these make up a safe combination. So reading left to right, you need to mark down your numbers, and then you need to run towards the director's quarters, and in that wing of the mansion in the west hallways, you're going to be able to find this safe. Hold square on the safe, and then enter the numbers that you saw on the wall, left to right, and inside you'll find a part that you can then hold square and pick up. Then go back to Shem's liminal room and hold square on the pedestal again. That will start a little lockdown in there, just like before. It will teleport your team in, and you'll need the purple ray gun for this time. So use the purple ray gun to break the boss's shield, and then do damage, break the shield again, do damage, etc. And once you kill the boss, you'll be able to go over to the Sentinel artifact and hold square on it, and that will be your purple ritual completed. The third liminal space is the yellow one. This is in the library. And for this, you'll need the yellow ray gun Mark II. So grab that from the spawn area if you haven't already grabbed it. And then come to the library, hold square on the machine. That'll start the little lockdown sequence. Kill the zombies with the yellow ray gun. That'll open the door to the library. You'll be able to hop inside. And then once you've done that, exit that liminal space. And this is where we'll need Ether Shroud charges. This is why I recommended the Power Keg and Arsenal Accelerator Gobblegums. And I also recommend having extra charge on Ether Shroud. There are basically several spawn points that we're going to need to check for parts. And they can only be seen while you are in Ether Shroud or just after your Ether Shroud has ended. And these spawns are a bit annoying. So what I recommend you do is watch this whole section of the video. I'll show you all the spawns I know. And I've been save quitting a bunch to try and find as many as possible. And then you'll be able to activate your Ether Shroud and potentially pick up multiple parts all in one go. So there are 3 fireplace spawns. The first is here in the foyer, and the second, if you run through, is just here in study, and then the third one is here in the banquet hall to the left of the elevator. So those are 3 fireplaces. You will have a part in one of those spots. Then there is an audio recorder, and this one can spawn in on top of the briefcase just outside the portal in the library, or it can spawn in on this desk in the T-Rex room on the left-hand side of the bar area. And then there's a ledger part, and that can spawn here inside the study on this desk just next to this fireplace, or it can spawn at the very top of this staircase just next to this briefcase. So you'll have 1 fireplace spawn, 1 audio recorder spawn, and 1 ledger spawn. But like I said, they can only be seen while you're in Ether Shroud. So Ether Shroud, check all the spawn points, and you should get all 3 parts. And you'll probably need to use multiple Ether Shrouds to check all of them, so use those power kegs. And you need to get yourself a free Ether Shroud using the side quest video. I've got all the free power-ups listed in there, which is linked in the description and in the corner of the screen right now. Now, in your game, if you can't find any of those 3 parts, you've got 2 options. Number 1 is check this video description. There's lots of extra detail in there and pointers to make sure that you guys can find what you're looking for. The second, if you're in a solo game, you can actually save quit and then reload in, and your spawns will have changed. So if one you can't find, try save quitting and then load back in and you can spawn again, and you might then be able to find your part. So once you've got all 3 of those parts, you then need to go back to the library, and don't go into the liminal library, just stay in the real world, and there'll be 3 glowing books on the bookshelf. You need to hold square on those books in the following order. First, it's going to be the one that has the symbol that's like a sideways 6. Then it's going to be the one that's got a circle with a line going all the way through it and another smaller line. And the third is going to be the 3 dots. If this order of book symbol entries doesn't work for you, then just do a different order once the books reset, and after a couple of goes, you should get it. If you do it too slowly or something, the books will basically reset back into place, so you can just like wait 30 seconds and then try again. But once you've activated your 3 books, you'll see a secret door appear to the left of you, and in there on the ground, you need to pick up another part, and you then need to go back into the liminal library and place that part on the pillar, and then it's the same as before, using the yellow elemental Mark II this time to take the boss's shield away, and then kill the boss. Once you've done that, hold square on the sentinel artifact, and that will complete this ritual. You are now at the stage of the game where you need to prepare for the boss fight. My recommendations are Shotgun Gunner, it's extremely good for this boss fight. Self-revives, the blue SMG Ray Gun Mark II, I quite like that one. Casimirs or decoys, Pack-a-Punch tier 3 if you can get there, and Gold Rarity if you can get there, and I like near-death experience and Shields Up as my Gobblegums. When you're ready to enter boss fight, go back to the Samantha AI in the underground and hold square on the panel in front of her, and then if you're in co-op, your team will need to...
Joe, have you done title thumbnail on the vid? Joey. You're muted if you're not, yeah.
Boats to go into the fight, and then you'll get a big cutscene, and once the cutscene ends, you will spawn in a new arena outside with a zombie dinosaur attacking you. This fight
Chat,
works
is it
in
good
several
so
stages,
far?
which we'll run through now. In stage 1, the zombie dinosaur is going to try and smack you with its tail, so don't get too close to it, and it's going to try and eat the toxic zombies in the arena. When it does that, the toxic zombie is going to sort of sit in its tummy for a little bit, and you're going to be able to shoot the T-Rex on its ribs, and they'll be glowing green, and that will do like 25k damage. It's a lot of damage. I believe if you wait too long to shoot it when it's doing that kind of charge with its ribs, it will then spit out a bunch of green goo, and that will start to make the arena smaller and smaller, and this will just happen as well generally as you play through the fight. So whenever you get the opportunity, you want to shoot those green glowing ribs, but when they're not glowing, you want to shoot the boss in its eyeballs. And you need to be careful because the boss will sometimes jump around as well, so be very careful not to get too close to it. Once you've done about a quarter of the boss's health, it will jump out of the arena, and you'll just need to kill zombies for about 45 seconds, and while it's jumping up there, it is actually still going to be able to take some damage for a few seconds, so you can get some extra shots in, but once it's kind of found its feet outside the arena, it's going to become immune, so just survive, and then it will jump back in, and it will start attacking you once again. For the next stages of the fight, it's going to start doing a kind of charged attack raw thing, so be careful of that, and just like before, make sure that you're shooting its eyeballs to crit, and its ribs when it's eating a glowing zombie. Then it will jump out of the arena again, you'll need to survive for another 45 seconds, it will jump back down again, it'll keep attacking you, and this happens a couple of times. I think there's 4 phases, and so what my recommendation is to do the first phase, which is going to be the easiest phase, while you've got your Casimirs and stuff like that, just using your guns, and then for the next stages, that's where I would use your chopper gunner. So if you're in solo, save your chopper gunner for the very end of the fight, but if you're in co-op, just keep a chopper per phase, and that will do a ton of damage to the boss, and you'll take it down pretty easily. And that should then be Easter egg complete. But if you're having trouble with the boss fight or any other part of the Easter egg quest, I've got a video linked on screen right now that has a bunch of tips so you're never going to die again playing this map, and it's going to make it incredibly straightforward. So click through to that video if you want.
Right, chat, that's shiftable, right? There's nothing wrong with it. Are we happy with that? Okay. Joey's back. start filling with metadata on the side?
Yes.
Ah, there you are. It is so nice to meet you face to face, Clay. Your efficiency is noted.
Alright.
Right into central processing unit.
Yep. You want every 10 seconds as well, right?
Yes, please.
Are you still on the page?
No, you can go for it.
Okay.
When you hit share that, I will.
Still a good. When I uploaded it.
Insta-kill.
Add the ones you're gonna add.
Okay. Alright, I'll hit send.
Yeah.
I just put all the ads.
What? You want a medal?
Double points.
Hey, if you're up for more audio, Crest can take some multi-guy on
You pack, I'll punch.
you. Alright. I think I can head to bed.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. But. I want to just spend 5 minutes talking about files, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Make sure it's okay. I'm terrified every time you guys do these things.
It's so real.
Okay.
I'm seeing a lot of ads.
You said or
I've just been hit by a few. Skip it around.
so that probably means that it's.
You have the render now, so
Yeah, okay. Talking files. Is there anything which I...
Can someone describe how it smells? I can sense the compound it contains, but no nose.
I mean, you could just rip Easter egg guide and do all the ray guns.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. You don't need source footage, you don't think?
Right?
I think it is. You have to rage stretch, probably.
Oh, are we? Because it's sort of. I don't know if we are.
Are you gonna redo audio?
Some, but like top and tail as opposed to anything too crazy.
Okay. All right. Then that's fine. Yeah, you could use that file.
Okay. It's ulti guide for Cress. Does Cress need anything from you? Do you need to send anything to Cress?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Rest easy.
Okay.
Or not.
Just ulti
I
guide.
don't give a shit.
Can we just look it up?
I didn't do pack down.
That's fine.
You record a boss fight and cutscene.
Go to bed.
Alright.
I'm gonna grind a bit more.
Yep.
And then I think I'm gonna get like a short number of hours, like 3 hours or something, and then I'm gonna get up and
Bonus points.
cutscenes.
Something of kills really the best use of my processing power.
Body.
Get on when you get on.
Yep. Sounds good.
Nice work today. This has been obviously a rough one because
I know, that was crazy.
But I
We want to have everything. So.
I think we have again probably got the most complete guide out there, and I think we've juggled it pretty well, all things considered. I will
Insta kill.
hope that 3 hours is restful.
And there was one that. Then there was one.
Again!
Yeah, I froze your ass, that's alright. Max armor. Double points.
Is that sending out to her? Oh, never mind. Here come more. more like Schna'a, bang, and then its brains went all split.
Hi guys, Mr. Waffles here. This is your no-nonsense guide to the Shattered Veil Easter egg and then craft more semi. Run there now so you can see my is. Once we get there, from this point, the Easter egg starts to branch a little bit, and there's a variety of orders that you can do tasks in. So I'm just going to show you an order that I think is optimal for me, but you can mix and match the order of some of these steps should you so desire. So we're going to work on getting the Raygun Mark II next. Like I said, if you've got the Wonder Bubble Gun, that gives you a 1 in 3 chance to get out of the box, and multiple people in your game can have the Raygun Mark II as well, so it doesn't matter if someone else is already put it in the box, you can still get it, and it will also show up randomly in the box. You don't have to have the Wonder Bubble Gun, but the likelihood of you seeing it will increase the later in your game that you spin the box. But aside from that, here's a guaranteed way to get the Raygun Mark II for free. To start with, you need round 10 or above, and you then need to go down the L box. But aside from that, here's a guaranteed way to get the Raygun Mark II for free. To start with, you need to be at round 10 or above.
Just go past.
I got a good head on my shoulders. You didn't even have that.
This is a guide for you to build. This is a guide for you to build the Raygun Mark II for free in Shattered Veil and then upgrade it into all its elemental variants. We'll start with building it for free. To start with, you need to be at round 10 or above, and you...
ABCs. Your fatuous flailing efforts will end up killing you. And
This is a guide for you to build the Raygun Mark II for free in Shattered Veil and... This is a guide for you to build the Raygun Mark II. Start with the out. This is a guide for you to build the...
What the hell, man?
Any other dipshits want to step up?
This is a guide for you to build the Raygun Mark II for free in Shattered Veil. The Raygun Mark II for free in Shattered Veil and then upgrade it into all its elemental variants. We'll start with building it for variants. We'll start with building it for free. To start with, you need to be at round 10 or above, and you then need to go down. We'll start with building it for free. To start with, you need to be at round 10 or above, and you then need to go down the elevator into the mainframe chamber where the big Sam AI is, and you need to look out for a lab technician zombie. And this zombie will drop you a floppy disk when you kill it. There's a chance that if you break a nuke, for example, that might explode it, so you might need to look around the mainframe chamber and generally all around the world around the ground. As you kill a zombie, you pick up the floppy, you can then go back up the elevator, and you need to bring it to this room here. It's one of the...
I will conduct a psychic system inspection.
Start with building it. To start with, you need to be at round 10 or above, and you then need to go down the elevator into the mainframe chamber where the big Sam AI is. And with building it for free. To start with, you need to be at round 10 variants. We'll start with building it for free. To start with, you need to be at round 10 or above, and you then need to go down the elevator. We'll start with building it for free. To start with, you need to be at round 10 variants. We'll start with building it for free. To start with, you need to be at round 10 or above, and you then need to go down the elevator into the mainframe chamber where the big Sam AI is, and you need to look out for a lab technician.
Oh, this is so annoying. Okay. Oh God, what can I do?
with building it for free. To start with, you need to be at round 10 or above, and you need to go down the elevator. Start with building it for free. To start with, you need to be at round 10 or above, and you then round 10, round 10.
Fresh from the Dark Ether, the Raygun Mark II. Fulfill your determination.
With you need to be at round 10 or above, and you then need to go down the elevator into the mainframe. Down the elevator into. We'll start with building it for. To start with, you need to be at round 10 or above, and you then need to go down the elevator into the mainframe chamber where the Big Sam AI is, and you need to look out for a lab technician zombie. And the zombie will drop you a pocket disc. You might need to look around generally all around the floor of our round. You need to go down the elevator. You need to go into this room here. It's on the right hand side of the base of the T-Rex, and in the corner of the room there is a secret so you can enter the pocket disc. Once we get there, we're going to be translating the word that we had in all caps into numbers. It's very simple how we do this. Let's say your word is Yeti. You're going to find the letter Y on the chalkboard, and we're going to see how many other letters is nearby. So in my case, the Y is the first of 5 letters, and so the first number is 5. Then we're going to move on to the E in Yeti. You can see that that's in the cluster of 4 letters, so my number is 4. The T is in the cluster of 8 letters, so my number is an 8. And then the I of Yeti is in the cluster of 2, so my final number is 2. But it will be different in your game, and like I said, you might have rock, for example, instead of Yeti. So once you've got that, go back down the elevator, walk up to this button glass in a little sealed chamber, and hold square on this code. That will put you up to the chamber, and you can kill the outside, and one of them is the car.
Keep it coming. I'm getting my blood
First, I recommend picking up this free. To some of the other Easter egg steps. So that's the Raygun Mark II built. Let's move on to some of the other Easter egg steps. First, I'd recommend picking up this free Casimir. So that's the Raygun Mark II built. Now let's move on to upgrading it. So that's the Raygun Mark II built. Now let's move on to upgrading it.
You're paid to kill, don't you?
That's the Raygun Mark II built. Now let's move on to upgrading it. First, I recommend picking up this. So that's the Raygun Mark II built. Now let's move on to upgrading it. First, I'd recommend picking up this free Casimir grenade, which you can find on this dead body just here. You can just craft one later if you need to, but this one's free. Then there's a little window behind the double tap. You put the Casimir down in front of the window, canister in, and then when the Casimir goes away, you'll pick the canister up. This is the first free canister you'll be paying for this request. But before we worry about the other canisters, let's use this one. So a few gems of pins outside of the area and place this one. So come to Shem's Henge, which is outside in the store area, and place the canister inside this yellow pot. With the window, it will suck the canister in, and then when the canister goes away, you'll be able to pick the canister up. This is the first of 3 canisters that we're going to be getting for this Easter egg quest. So before we worry about the other canisters, let's
No, it's not an Easter egg.
up. This is the first of 3 canister up. This is the first of 3 canisters that we're going to be getting for this Easter egg quest. Before we worry about the other canisters, let's use this. This is the first of 3 canisters that we're going to use, and one This canister can be used for one of the 3 elements. This canister is going to be used for one of the 3 elemental upgrades, and we will get 2 more canisters later in the video, but first let's just start with this. This canister is going to be used Shem's Henge, which is more canisters later in the video, but first let's just use this canister to build ourselves the blue SMG variant of the ray gun. This canister is going to be used for one of the 3 elemental upgrades, and we will get 2 more canisters later in the video, but first let's just use this canister to build ourselves. This canister is going to be used for one of the 3. This canister. We're going to use this canister to build the blue SMG variant of the elemental ray gun.
How do you feel about it?
We're going to use this canister to build the blue SMG variant of the ray gun Mark II. But you can use it for any of the elements, and we'll show you the other canisters. But you can use it for any of the elements. But you can use it in theory for any of the elements you so. But if you wanted to build a different element first, you totally can do, and I'll just show you how to get those canisters and build those. Variant of the ray gun Mark II. We're going to use this canister to build the blue SMG variant of the ray gun Mark II. Although technically you can do these in any order, so this canister doesn't have to be used for the blue one specifically. Okay. Way you'll be able to pick the canister up. We're going to use this canister to build the blue SMG variant of the ray gun Mark II. Although technically you can do these in any order, so this canister doesn't have to be used for the blue one specifically. So come to Shem's Henge. Shem's Henge, which is outside and near the spawn area. Near the spawn. Is outside, kind of near the spawn area, and place the canister inside this yellow box. And once you do that, it's going to spawn in a couple of abominations down in the henge area just below these steps. You need these abominations to zap the 3 small rocks in this area, not the big rocks, but just all of the small rocks. And when each one gets zapped, it'll start glowing blue, and then you need the abominations to charge into the glowing blue rocks, and that will cause them to float into the air. So once you've got them all going, and then you've got them all floated into the air, the abominations will die, and it'll start a little defense where you'll have to protect the center area from vermin spawning in. And after you've taken out enough vermin and enough time has passed, you'll complete the step, and the canister, which we originally placed in that yellow box, will be retrievable, and it'll be charged up now as an explosive canister. So with that canister picked up, you need to go back down the elevator, or you can take the fast travel from the spawn, and you need to come to this crafting bench, and it'll square on it, and it will place the canister inside, and then when you're holding your regular base version of the ray gun Mark II, you can hold square on the bench again, and that will craft it into the blue version of the Mark II. So that's 1 out of 3 elemental Mark IIs that we need for the Easter egg. For the second canister, 3 elemental Mark IIs that we need of 3 the Mark II. So that's 1 out of 3 elemental Mark IIs that we need for the Easter egg. For the second canister, we're going to need tomahawks. So that's 1 out of 3 elemental Mark IIs that we can... So that's 1 out of 3 elemental Mark IIs. Now let's move on to getting a canister for the next one, and then building it. So, the blue version of the Mark IIs. So that's 1 out of 3 elemental Mark IIs. Version of the Mark IIs. So that blue version of the Mark IIs. So that's 1 out of 3 elemental Mark IIs.
Who's next? Any takers?
That we need for the Easter egg. 2s. For the second canister, we're going to need... For the second canister, we're going to... So pick up some of those from a crafting bench or from ones you can find in various areas just around the map on the floor and things like that. And then head down to the mainframe chamber and take a look at this tube just here. To the side of it, you should see a letter on the wall. You need to make a note of whether it says A or B. Then run through to this part of the underground. And on the left, you'll see an A and a B on the wall and some pipes with gas coming out of them. And you can turn the gas on or off at a given one of those red wheels by hitting it with a tomahawk. What we want to do is we want to turn on the gas to make it flow to the letter that you've got in your game. So if your letter's A, you're going to turn on the leftmost wheel, the middle wheel, and then turn on the A, but make sure B is turned off. Or if you've got B, turn on the leftmost, turn on the middle, and only turn on B and turn off A. You have to throw your tomahawks very precisely to get the wheels to turn. But once you've successfully turned on the 3 valves that you need to get gas to flow to your letter, get all your rock Sam, and you then go back to the mainframe chamber where Sam is, and use an explosive like a Semtex on the front of the canister now that it's filled with gas to blow it open, and you're going to pick up the canister from inside by holding square. With that canister grab, you can the next elemental ray gun, which is the purple shotgun ray gun. And for this, we need to rely on a little bit of RFG because you need to open up all of these white boxes around the map, and one of them is going to contain a bomb that you need to pick up. There are tons of locations of these things, so I'll show you a load of them now. The first white box one we're going to take a look at is in the armory. You can see it just on the east side. We've got a T-Rex room. You can side, far side, that's where I actually got my essence bomb. In the Shem's Henge area, there's white box just here, and there's another one you can get just here by this lion statue. There's another one actually by the waterfall as well. Then you go back to the observatory, there's one at the base of the observatory, and there can be another spawn up here as well on the right-hand side. Now, like I said, this is a non-exhaustive list of spawns because there are so many of these. So I'll put the spawns in the description for you guys if you get stuck or you just can't find them while running around the map looking for them. Once you pick up the bomb, there are 2 other parts we need to grab. Both of these can be found in fountains. The first is near the spawn area. You're going to then go to the observatory and just out the back find stuff here. Hold square, that'll place the bomb and it'll blow open the front of the side. through the tunnel, across the room, and place your canister in the machine. That will cause the laser point to be. Then to your right and place one of your reflectors on this metal podium just here, and your second reflector just down here, and that's going to reflect the beam across the room into one of these doppelgast statues. You just need to melee the crystal that the beam is coming out from, and that will doppelgast to turn into a real doppelgast, and you need to kill it, and that's your first doppelgast soul collected. Next, you're going to melee this reflector just here, and the reflector on the other side of the room actually going to take up, and you're going to run up this slope here on the left-hand side, and place that reflector down, and soul collected, you can pick up your charge canister from the other side of the room. And that one needs to go to the crafting bench in the director's quarters area. So hold square, that'll put canister in, and then hold square again with your base ray gun or any other ray gun, and I'll convert it into a purple ray gun. Next, we need one more. Purple ray gun.
Check power.
Next, we need one. And that one needs to go to the crafting from the other side of the room. And that one needs to go to the crafting bench in the director's quarters area. Hold square, I'll put canister in, and then hold square again with your base ray gun or any other ray gun, and I'll convert it into a purple ray gun. Next, we need one more canister. To get this, you don't actually have to use an elemental ray gun, you can just use a regular ray gun. Next, we need one more canister. To get this, you don't actually have to use an elemental ray gun, you can just use a regular ray gun Mark II, but it will not work with a ray gun Mark I, like a normal ray gun. It has to be a ray gun Mark II, and you're going to use it to shoot these big, blue, crystally, water pouchy looking things. There are 4 of them total, and you might get lucky, and you might get your canister from like the second one you shoot. Tunnel underground area, and you'll see it high up there. Shoot that, that's spawn number 4, and one of those 4 will give you your next canister. In order to charge the canister, we first need to get ourselves 4 seeds. Side of the bridge, and there's also another west button here, one out here. Right, but if you can't find them still, then check the description and I'll have some extra spawn text in there. So destroy all 4 parts that you have in your game, and each one will drop a seed, so pick those up, and we've got 4 seeds, and you've got the canister we grabbed a minute ago. Run it to the conservatory and place the canister into this machine here. Then go on to one of these rectangular incubators and plant one of your seeds. It'll start off small, and you need to defend it while it grows over time. So that one's always try and attack it, and when the seeds get bigger, you can move on to the next machine. So that's our first machine, then put the second there, seeds, defend it, wait for it to grow, take out the zombies as they attack you. I usually use explosives here, that's just going to be the most consistent for me because it's quite a tight area, so syntax and stuff is great. Your third seed machine is going to be just hit. But USB speed, and you'll get the button that will the next round to try again. But assuming it didn't fail, you can turn the charge canister into the crafting bench in the spawn, and hold square on it, and then put the canister in, and then you hold square again to get the next ray gun Mark II, which is on to the right together. That's all of the elemental ray guns built, and we're now going to use them to open up 3 marksman rifle yellow one. That's all of the elemental ray. So you probably have 2 questions now. One is, now that I've built the ray guns, can I do the main quest instead with these? And the answer is yes. I've got my main quest guide linked on the screen right now. Go do it. It's a really fun one. And the other question might be, which ray gun is the best? And for that, I've also got another dedicated video breaking down which is best and which is worst. And that's also linked on screen. So click through and I'll see you there. So you probably have 2 questions now. One is, now that I've built the ray guns, can I do the main quest Easter egg with these? And the answer is yes. And I've got my main quest guide linked on the screen right now. Go do it. It's great.
Take the old one too.
Rifle yellow one. So you probably have 2 questions now. One is, can I put ray guns? Can I do the main quest instead of these? The answer is yes. Right now, go do it. Make one. And the other question might be, which ray gun is the best? And for that, I've also got another dedicated video breaking down which is best and which is worst. And that's also linked on screen. So check that out. See you. This is a guide for you to build the Raygun Mark II for free in Shattered Vale and then upgrade it into all its elemental variants. We'll start with building it for free. To start with, you need to be at round 10 or above, and you then need to go down the elevator into the mainframe chamber where the Big Sam AI is, and you need to look out for a lab technician zombie. And this zombie... Cool. Cool.
That's rendering.
You're done here.
I'm calling them free because that is the word that the community uses. We'll call them free. How do I build it for free? How do I get it for free? You get them for free by playing. Yes, exactly. Just what? You do not get it for free by spinning the box. You pay to spin the box. That's why I'm saying you can get it for free. Not by spinning the box. Now that I think about it though, maybe I need to mention that you can get it. Does it count as buzzwording? What has a buzzword? I mean, that sounds like, yes, I love buzzwording.
Cause of death. I shot you in the fucking head.
Buzzwords are good. Buzzwords are good.
Stuck, kid.
Trying to rhyme with coins. Yo, true. Yo, Frenches. Good morning. Did you sleep? I'm gonna see if I can get rest. I didn't really want to make this. But I think I have Hi guys, Mr. Offwaffles here. This is your no-nonsense... Hi guys, Mr. Offwaffles here. This is your ultimate guide to Shattered Vale, including everything you need to know about the map to take you from beginner to pro. In the spawn, you'll find the Rampage Inducer as always, as well as a fast teleporter that you can use once the rest of the map is open. There's also a Gobblegum machine, one of the Ether Field Generator traps, just like on Liberty Falls. And there are these maps dotted around which show you the overall layout, but you can also just pull up your TAC map to see the map at any time. While you're in the spawn, you'll also see a white Project Janus box, and we're going to come back to those later. For now though, just destroy it and it'll give you a bit of salvage or maybe a vermin to kill. If you're looking for the new double tap perk machine, that can be found on the rear patio just back here. And I really recommend you remember to enable the research for your double tap augments before you start playing, so you don't waste any XP and you start getting those augments unlocked nice and quickly. So you'll start exploring the map and you'll quickly realize that the tank punch open via orange prompts as usual. For this we need 2 parts. The first is going to be... The first you'll get from killing this guy in the library, and then the second requires you to destroy Richtofan's machine on the other side of the mansion. And once you do that, it'll drop a part, and then you can go back to the top of the elevator and fix those parts into the wiring in the back of the elevator. And then press the elevator button a few times, zombies will jump out and scare you, you can take them out. And then you can pull the elevator down, and the rappel will appear, allowing you to get down there and get back up again any time in your game. That's also where you'll meet the Sam AI, and she actually talks to you a little bit if you shoot her with the Raygun Mark II, which we'll be getting later in this video. Now, just to kind of continue our map tour here, if you continue through this underground section, the service tunnel, that's where you'll find that fast travel teleporter that I mentioned at the start of the video. And that will be opened up now, and there's also an armory over there, which will work the same way as the Terminus and Liberty Falls keys. So you get a key from a boss, you bring it into the armory, and then you use it on a locker to get some goodies. Now, before we talk about some of the Easter eggs and ray guns and all that crazy stuff, let's keep going through a couple of the new additions to this map. Number 1 is toxic zombie rounds. So these guys are going to explode when they die, and that explosion is going to hurt. So you're going to want to stay away from them. And also watch out for the gas that they're going to leave behind as well. These guys replace parasite rounds, bug rounds. It's the version of that. And also watch out for the gas that they're going to leave behind. And also watch out for the gas that they're going to leave behind. That's going to hurt you as well. These guys basically replace dogs on this map. And also watch out for the gas. And also watch out for the gas that these guys... And also watch out for the gas that these guys are going to leave behind, because that's going to damage you as well. The nice thing, though, is that the rounds go really fast. Like, they're a little bit quicker than vermin or parasite rounds. And if you really need help taking them down for some reason, they are weak to the Shadow Rift ammo mod, but you're just not going to really need it. Now, once you start getting through some of the rounds here, around 15, 16, you're going to get an Elder Disciple spawning in for the first time, which is a new enemy type in Shattered Vale. The longer the Elder Disciple is left alive, the more enemy types it will spawn in, and it's going to spawn in a bunch of vermin and parasites. And then those vermin and parasites are going to evolve into Doppelgars, and eventually that's going to develop into an amalgamation. So you need to take down the Elder Disciple to stop this evolutionary chain reaction in its tracks. The best way to do this is to use the Dead Wire ammo mod or the Lightning ammo mod and shoot its weak spot on its head once you destroy its head armor. And the good news also is that once you take out the Elder Disciple, all the zombies that it has control over will also be eliminated, so it will kind of wave clear us here. In the later rounds, you're going to get multiple of these per round, so be very wary when they spawn in. Keep an eye out for the little blue glow that indicates that there's one nearby, and take them out of here. So, what might make your life more easier? Well, use traps, right? And I mentioned the Ether Field trap in the spawn, but there's some new traps in this map as well, such as this microwave trap. So, zombies that walk in the AoE for this will basically insta-die, and it's pretty cheap as well. It only costs 750, but you can also damage yourself with it, so be wary. And just use it when you're in a pinch and you know that you're going to be safe. There's multiple locations for it as well, so it's in the East Foyer, the Conservatory, and the Nursery. But what if that's not enough? Right, well, maybe you want the new wonder weapon, or sort of new, the Raygun Mark II. So let's explain how you get that for 3 now, and then we'll explain how to turn it into all of its elemental weapons. Those are the ray guns, but what about the Wunderwaffe? That's also back in this map, and that can be obtained in the mystery box. And you can upgrade it as well once you get it out of the mystery box. And the nice thing is if you use Wunderbar, you're either going to get the Raygun Mark II, the Raygun, or the Wunderwaffe. So you've got some pretty good options for if you are deciding to use a Wunderbar. So that was an Easter egg quest to get some free weapons. What about some free power-ups? Well, we'll run through a handful of these now. Free max ammo is next to this statue in the lower corner. Free double point is, if you look out to the west balcony area, up against this fallen tree trunk, this one's pretty far away, so it's a bit easier if you can sight on your weapon. With a free nuke power-up, it's from the white trailer with the blue tarpaulin in the service tunnel, and there are a few trailers down there, so just make sure you're shooting at the right one. The free full power is in the study through a small gap next to the computer. You're probably going to need to prone and look up at the door frame here to get this one. For the free insta-kill, it's at the bottom of the elevator, resting on a ledge as you look up. If you're looking towards Sam, it's going to be on your left-hand side. For the free